What is up, my Lorcana Goons, and welcome back to another Friday Market Watch video. We're going to go over Lorcana news, meta trends, and card prices. My name's Kevin. We're here with Zach Stone. We're actually recording this on Thursday night because we just got busy Fridays planned for us. I have stuff to do tomorrow. I got work, but yeah, we're going to start off with some meta trends. I got to talk about Dumbo. Last week we mentioned Dumbo shooting back up to $40, and this week it's at 40, more than 45. Market price $46, lowest verified $43.99, and it's just trickling up closer and closer to that $50 mark. And I don't know, man, I feel like Dumbo is just not only returning in the meta, but you're playing Blurple, you're playing Amethyst Steel. What other decks do you play Dumbo in?
You're definitely playing it in Ruby Am. I think that card is just an excellent addition to Ruby Amethyst. And yeah, you got to play it in Blurple, right? Amethyst Sapphire is probably starting to become tier 1 again. I think it's like arguably one of the better decks just because Ruby Am and Purple Steel seem to be more of the popular choices. Blurple can get the job done a little bit better and a little bit faster with that ramp. Dumbo just being the card it's always been. One of the best cards from the Fabled set, and one of the best cards from Whispers in the Well. Hades, always looking for a deal, still being around $35 today. I know near mint copies are, the lowest you can find them for is TC Obsessed, and that is $33, and they got 3 copies for you. Cold foils, only about $40. I'm gonna be honest. If you have the option to buy both, like if someone has like non-foils and foils, just take the foils. If they're only like about $5 more, it's almost a no-brainer for me. And it does have the what we call the Enchanted effect, but this is an iconic effect because this was an iconic rare, right, Kevin?
Yeah, this one's interesting. I would have thought the foils would be much more just because the iconics are so much harder to pull. Not like an Enchanted where it's a little bit easier ratios. The iconic ratios are just way different, and the iconic version of Hades is $600, so only a $5 difference to have a shiny Hades compared to a non-shiny. So I'd much rather get the foil. Sharks. We gotta talk about Maui Shark, man, because these have been going down. But by the way, just want to mention it's crazy how Hades is the big legendary now from the recent set. No longer Cindy. No longer Cindy. Maui Shark was the big legendary from Azurite Sea, and it was holding a lot of weight for that set, and now it really does feel like Azurite Sea is a little bit of a lesser set, with Maui Strike being this cheap, less than $25 market price. You can find them for $23.98 if you want to get a Maui Half Shark right now. Lowest verified is by Video Games, etc. Shout out you guys. We've mentioned this before on the Market Watch, and that's kind of why I bring it up. Good price for a Maui Shark. Can't complain there. Cold foils around $40 going by verified sellers, so still pretty up there. But for the non-foils, paying $25, that seems like a good deal in my opinion.
Yeah, when this card gets that low, we've said it before, you guys need to pick these up if you've been thinking about it. You never know what direction they're going to go in the future sets. Again, Maui Shark will be around for 2 more sets before the post-rotation. And if it decides to get reprinted again, you never know where it could go. I like this card a lot. It definitely affected the meta towards set 7 and set 8, and I would not be surprised if it's going to change the meta once again.
Yeah, this card's pretty good in Ruby Amethyst right now too, with the Next Stop Olympus combo. I think people are kind of sleeping on that a little bit. Just want to throw that out there with the next DLC getting only about a month away. Consider those options. But let's talk about some newer cards. Cheshire Cat, Unexplicable. These are around $3 to $4 more so. You can find them lowest verified at $245. TC Obsess has 5 of them for you ready to go. Then we have Rapid Spin Gaming. That's going to be $3 with some extra shipping, so around $3 to $4 for your Cheshire Cats. We brought up the cold foils last week, and this week they're even more expensive. Can you believe that? Market price $19. Monster Pocket, lowest verified. These are $20 each for your cold foil Cheshire Cats. And I also got to mention, we've said this before, we really like the cold foiling for the Whispers in this set. The Whispers have different foiling than some of the other characters in the Whispers in the Well set, and I think that's really cool. I hope they keep that consistent. I hope they kind of give a different finish for certain cards. It almost gives me like Altart vibes, and I think we need more Altarts in Lorcana, to be honest. Like the epic rares are not enough, especially when the epics are the exact same art as the regular cards. I would just really like to see some Altarts. So it is really cool that we have alternate foiling for like a card like this. So it does show me that it's possible, right? What do you think, Zach?
Yeah, they want to add some different textures and some different shine and bling and kind of make it worthwhile to acquire some of these cards. I know that there are some collectors out there, some people that are called master setters that are just looking to get one of every foil and non-foil copy of a set and just complete that in their binder and move on to the next one. So yeah, it's looking like these foils that were cheaper before are starting to go up. As we said, when cards look a little too good, you might want to pick them up, like this one today, Junior Woodchuck Guidebook. I know that this has been talked about a lot. This is kind of like the Amethyst Breaker, and a lot of Blurple decks are starting to gravitate towards this instead of playing the second star to the right. And cold foils are really cheap. It's only about $1 right now. You can't find multiple sellers selling more than one copy, so you are going to have to purchase them from different sellers on TCG Player. So roughly $1 to $2, I would think, in trade value if you had them back at home. And don't sleep on this card, guys, because again, Tamatoa can also recur the items back. People are experimenting with that again, and I just think that they're one item away from making the crab come back in the deck again.
Yeah, I've seen that Tamatoa Blurple Crab deck. That's a real deck in the meta, and I think the Woodchuck Guidebook is kind of like our version of Friends on the other side, which could be pretty relevant going forward, right? But speaking of Blurple, speaking of Sapphire, we have some Sapphire Enchanted hits. I want to go over Spooky Sight. This card going up in price a little bit over this past week. If you guys didn't know, this past weekend was a Black Friday weekend, and TCG Player had like a 10% credit back program thing, where if you spend money with them, they gave you money back to spend more money with them, which is pretty cool. So some of these prices for some of these cards, been going up because a lot of sales activity. So there's only 9 listings left for this Spooky Sight Enchanted, and all the recent sales 150 at least. So that means market price is 150, but lowest verified 165. So you're gonna have to pay maybe 160 plus for this card this weekend if you guys want to pick it up for any tournaments, or maybe if you're a collection. I think this is definitely like a collectible card. Do you know what I mean? But again, I just want more full arts in Lorcana. Wouldn't it be cool if they had like an altar version of like non-foil that you can pull from a pack, and then the enchanted version, or just different alternate arts of Spooky Sights that weren't just the enchanted one? I digress, but still pretty cool. And nonetheless, let's go ahead and talk about another enchanted rare shooting up in price a little bit this week. We have a lot of sales for this enchanted Simba. $75, $70, $80, right? Zach Stone, I know you tried to make this work in a Sapphire Amber deck earlier in the format, right?
Yeah, there was a lot of cards I was testing out, and the Simba was definitely one of them. And let's look at these prices right now. $100 right now, $99.31 by Infinite Cards LLC, and they got 6 copies. I gotta admit, that is a lot of copies. You should probably buy a playset from them if you're looking to buy a playset, but let's just kind of pay attention to what they are selling for as well. No one's wanted to bite and pull the trigger at $100 just yet. The most recent sale is at 75, with the absolute high being about 90 right now. So it's getting there. It's getting close, but we might see more and more people want to fight for the sale. Again, when these videos usually go out, more people recognize that these cards are going up, want to sell them themselves, and then you start to see the price go back down. But I digress on that one as well, because Max Goof Chart Topper is starting to go back down. We saw prices as high as $150 about a few weeks ago, and now you can buy some for as low as $125. I have to say that this is kind of a deal, but I can see it go lower. I'm gonna be honest. I don't think Max Goof is there just yet. Not too many good shift targets for him right now. We only have the 3-drop that's Ruby and will force you to be color locked there. That I think is a valid shift target. Other than that, you have to kind of slow roll this card. It does get better if the meta starts to slow down and become more of a late or top heavy game, and being able to replay those songs, especially You're Welcome and Mother Knows Best, that's going to get a lot of the board out of the way for the Emerald Sapphire decks.
I do want to mention you still have the 3-cost Emerald Max Goof, which is, he's okay. He's not my favorite. I think he's the Rebellious Teen, but the problem with him is that if you're gonna shift this card on turn 4, that means you're playing that card on turn 3. He is a 3-cost character, but his ability requires you to pay 1 extra ink, so you're not really ever you don't really ever want to play that Max Goof on turn 3. For the most part, you want to play him on turn 4 so you can grab back in action, and then you want to sing the action, and then somebody else shift, sing again. I don't know. It does kind of lock you into that line of play too, which kind of sucks. And then yeah, like you said, the Ruby Max Goof is not really the color combo is not the color combo you want to be playing with this Max Goof, unfortunately. I do think this card is good, but yeah, I could see it being like $100. It is collectible though. I do want to mention that. Do want to mention that a lot of people like Powerline, a lot of people like Max Goof. This is the first Max Goof Enchanted, so wouldn't be surprised if it like does not ever hit below $100, because that's kind of like my expectation for some of these more sought after collectibles. And speaking of collectibles, the iconic Mickey Mouse and Brave Little Prince, no listings available on TCG Player after this Black Friday weekend. Very interesting. We have multiple sales go down over this course of this weekend. Some for 1,500, some light plates for 1,200, but multiple for 1,500. Totally safe to say that this is a $1,500 pull that you can get from your Fabled boxes. And I don't know about you, Zach, but I don't see Fabled anywhere.
Fabled is a little bit tougher to find, and I have seen some people, especially come up to the booth at Frank's and ask for some Fabled product. So if you guys are looking for Fabled and you are in the Southern California area, I have a few packs left. I got some stuff. I'm finding some Fabled, and I'm trying to get it back to you guys. And if you guys are not aware, there is some holiday hours for Frank and Sons. Those that are longtime viewers know I've been there, and the holiday hours start on, I think, the 14th or the 17th, whatever Monday that is, and it's all week long, and it goes throughout till like Friday, and normally it's only open Wednesday, Saturday, and Sunday, so you can always find me there. But in case you're going to be in town for the holidays and you got some time to stop by during the week, I will try to be there. But let me know if any of my Lorcana goons are going to be planning on showing up so I can make sure I'm there for you guys.
Yeah, a lot of holiday activity. People coming to SoCal for the holidays, going to Disneyland too. Maybe you're going to be in Orange County, maybe in San Diego County. That's where I'm at. Ninja Exchange, also holiday hours weekend. It's collectible expos if you guys want to check out the collectibles we got there. Some interesting news as well. Somebody bought a Invited to the Ball. This is the Nationals promo. You acquired this last year if you got your invite to Nationals, and we had a sale this weekend for almost the same price, bro. Almost $1,500. Kind of crazy. Kind of wild, man. I also do want to mention that I sold mine this past year to a customer that came by, and he came by to me like about 2 weeks ago, and he bought it because he wanted to get it graded, and he got it graded, guys, and it came back a PSA 10. Huge shout out to bro. I forgot his name. I'm so terrible with names. But huge shout out. I got a picture. I'll put it on the screen. Came back with a PSA 10 Invited to the Ball, and that made me feel good. So I just want to tell anybody, if you ever win one of these prize cards, one of these Lorcana prize cards at Nationals or anything like that, I think you should get it graded. I think take the risk, get it graded. We have a PSA 10 Rapunzel top 16 promo. This is the foil version of Rapunzel. This one sold on November 18th, $4,600. $4,600. I can only imagine what he would even begin to ask for this PSA 10 Invited to the Ball. I tried to look for sales and I couldn't find any, and he asked me like what would I list it at, and I told him I think like even just as a base listing just on eBay you could put it up like as a flex and put like 10,000, you know, because it's like you have the one. But like I think asking for at least double or something is what you should kind of aim for, because we do have a sale for the foil Rapunzel on TCG Player. 2,700, 2,699. So you know they were asking for double that, around 56, and they got 46. So not too shabby. What do you think of all this information, Zach Stone?
It's very interesting. I we don't have it on the screen, but a Cinderella Stout Hearted also sold that weekend. There might have been, you know, a specific buyer looking to acquire some promo prize cards and some pretty exclusive Lorcana cards over the Black Friday, Cyber Monday TCG Player kickback sale. And that is something to really consider. I know some people really wait and look forward to that, not only as buyers, but as sellers. Some people do list a lot of inventory and make sure that they have a lot of extra goodies online and available, because, yeah, you never know what somebody's going to want to pick up when they are going to get some money back from their purchase. And these are pretty expensive. I don't know if it like limits you or at a capacity of how much you get back based on how much you spend. But if you're getting 10% back of like, $2,700, that's what, $270 back to spend. That's like a free Enchanted. I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, what do you think about what I said about if you win a prize card, you get it graded? Maybe. We even have some graded Mickeys, some graded iconic Mickeys that have been selling for around 2,000.
Yeah, getting the price cards graded, I don't think can go wrong. You do want to kind of consider, what it's worth to you. Some people are longtime holders of their, prized possessions in any TCG, and they would like to kind of keep them for as long as they possibly can. And that does kind of come with the decision if you want to get it graded, how much is it going to cost you, and if they come back at 10, I think it's a little bit more you have to pay on top of that. Instead of just the normal service, you have to pay an additional premium to, acquire it back.
Yeah, extra
And
fees.
this is also something to look at with the fabled iconic Mickeys. They
Yeah.
are mostly coming back 10s. I've seen like a handful, if any, population 9. And more often than not, that's never even a bad thing because they're still pretty expensive for the raw copies. And
Even
a
this
9's
PSA 8 is
gotta be
1,000.
close to a raw.
Yeah, even this PSA 8 is a
Yeah.
1,000 right here.
That's a good pickup, honestly. If you're just trying to buy it and,
Yeah,
and
low-key.
not necessarily need it at 10, that's a really good pickup.
You could even just crack it. It's a raw. You're paying less than 1,500. That's kind of nice actually. You can find these like PSA 7 or 8. You're better off getting that than the raw for 15. This is really interesting because like Lorcana's been in a weird space lately. I'll be real. I'll be frank. I'll be frank with the community for a sec. Lorcana on the local game store level been kind of weird. A lot of game stores kind of dropping the game. A lot of local game stores, to me, not doing tournaments anymore. Some not taking Whispers pre-orders. A little bit worrisome. But then I see this iconic Mickey. Multiple sales throughout November, December, PSA 10. This is like unprecedented for this game because it was like the Elsa or bust for a very long time. Now we kind of have this iconic Mickey. Not too many sales. Obviously, it's still new, so I don't think the iconic Hades and Ariel are gonna have any PSA 10 sales. I mean, I checked earlier, there's not that many or anything. But there's probably a low population because the set's still new. But this is kind of cool, I think. Getting a graded Mickey, I'd low-key be interested in seeing, keeping up with this because they were selling. I do want to mention they were selling for 2,800 closer to the early November, and as of now we're in early December. A month later, they're hitting as low as 2,000, so 1,925 actually. So maybe if you guys are interested, now is the time to pick these up, right? But some other promos that we're seeing movement on: the Pegasus promo. This is your entry promo for the DLC challenges, shooting up to around $80. Very, very cool. If you're going to the DLCs, you're now getting an $80 promo. If you sold your promo for around $50, like a lot of people were doing, you probably should hold on to them because I think these are going to keep going up. It's a very cute card. It's a very beautiful looking card. It's playable, and you probably want a playset of this card in your deck if you're playing this card, right?
I think that card is actually going to see a little bit more play. There is some, hype behind the Emerald Amethyst aggro deck, and it focuses on a lot of 1s and 2s. And this is an easy one drop to play. It's evasive, so a lot of the steel cards are not going to get through to it. And that steel is a very popular color right now. And let's also be frank here too. We don't have that many DLCs in North America, so not many people are going to be able to acquire their Pegasuses, and who knows where they are going to end up years from now. Again, 9 listings available on TCG. eBay's a different story, and if you've been considering picking these up and you don't have any DLCs lined up that you're going to, you might need to pull the trigger because this card is trending upwards in the market right now.
Yeah, I just want to mention that the foiling on these DLC promos, superb. Like, it doesn't do it justice seeing it in the pictures if you guys haven't seen them in real life. And like, I know it's exclusive to like the Disney Lorcana Challenge experience, but I just really wish, man, if they're not gonna do like high key detailed textured cards in Lorcana to open packs, at least give us this foiling, like this swirl foiling pattern. It's so good, and it does not need to be exclusive to Enchanted, bro. Like it does kind of like irk me a little bit that I see like an infinite amount of Target Lorcana packs just sitting on the walls, and like One Piece is sold out, all the other games are sold out now. And I think a big part of it is that you're paying like $6-7 almost, get it, 6-7, you're paying like that much for some of these packs, and you're not really getting alternate arts, bro, whereas you can pay like even $4-5 for like a Yu-Gi-Oh, and even Yu-Gi-Oh is giving you like way more foils in a pack, so it's kind of crazy. Like they need, I think for a game that is very family oriented and has a lot of kids playing, you would think they'd have more shiny cards. But yeah, the foil Mulan charging ahead promo, also seeing some sales this weekend. Now it's a $50 card. These were selling as low as 40-45 bucks a couple weeks ago, and you actually have to win 3 matches to get this card, unlike the Pegasus. But it goes to show, playable, a cute card versus an unplayable, not my favorite artwork. It's a very good card in terms of like the design and everything, and the artist, shout out the artist, but like it's just not a card that I think really pops to a lot of people. But you know what, Elsa Ice Maker, this is a very interesting one. This card I think is going to be really hard to acquire in the future, because you can really only get this for playing side events at the DLCs. You're basically using your side event tickets for this card. I think it was like 700 tickets last time, and it's selling for around $200. We have some sales here, multiple in the last month, all for around 200. So if you're going to the DLCs, even if you're not going to the main event, you can do the side events and maybe get an Elsa Ice Maker promo. If you want the foil version of this, though, you got to finish in top 16, right, Zach?
Yeah, this is definitely a little bit more prestigious, but it's top 32, Kevin, not top 16. Top 32, you get the card. Top 16, okay, you get the mat.
Oh, that's what it is. Oh, okay.
You get the golden Mickey. No, it's okay. I got you. I'm here. And all for the Lorcana Goons. I actually had a thought right now. Kevin, you sparked in a little idea. What if Ravensburger made enchanted boxes? Now, what I mean by enchanted boxes, think of like your collector booster for other card games. What if every card in that pack of an enchanted box came in foil and with like a guaranteed, like, epic rare or something like that? And they were smaller. You didn't get too many packs as well. They would cost a little bit more. Would that be something that interests you guys? Let me know down in the comments. And actually, Kevin, give me your answer. Would you actually like something like that in the game?
Yeah, that'd be cool. Like, I'd be down for that. I mean, I think most people right now are down to like spend a little more cash if it means they're gonna have just a little bit more, like, easier time with these like hit ratios. And it is a lot. I think the fact that it's the Lorcana packs are just like what, $2-3 more than the average TCG pack on the shelf. That does say a lot, especially when you're already kind of competing in that space for like, what should I buy to open up? And even if people are just like, I don't think you should be really opening packs for like EV, like expected value. I think that's silly. But like, if not opening Lorcana for expected value, like you're opening a bunch of Lorcana packs, but you're getting like literally one foil per pack, and it's kind of hard to justify that, I think, sometimes. So would like to see a lot more stuff in that aspect. I know there's a lot of conversation about that right now, and on like the local game store level 2. We were mentioning the local game stores kind of feeling like they've been slowing down. They're taking away the pins. We gotta I think we should really voice our opinion that the local game store the league pins are very important. I was even saying just throw the pins in the sealed product, because we got some announcements for some new sealed products that are coming out soon that I'm not necessarily too hyped for, but I think they're cool to introduce new players into the game. But it would be instead of taking away the pins, they should just put the pins in the sealed product and put them at random. I think people would love to buy troves if they came with a random pin, or even those gift sets. The gift sets that you see at Target, kind of collecting dust. Throw some pins in there, make them blind boxes, bro. People would love to buy those.
Yeah, I think like pins could be something that they conclude like that. They just need to have a lot more incentive for the people that don't want to take the game too seriously, but still love to play and love to go out to their local game store. It needs to be worth it for the local game stores too. And even if you're not a local game store, you could be a movie theater getting promos, but there needs to be some sort of, like, I wouldn't say regulation, but there needs to be more of a standard to it. I've been hearing a lot of stories, and thank you to all the Lorcana Goons sharing those in the Discord server that we have. So make sure you join with the link down below if you are not involved in the Lorcana Goons community. But you guys have been sharing, like, going to Cinemark and not even getting a promo because of how they mishandled it, or only allowing you to get one per group, meaning you go with a friend or you go with like 5 people and only one person can get the promo. Like, there needs to be like almost somebody there from Ravensburger almost,
And
and
somehow someone has 70 listed here. Somehow.
yeah, so
Yeah.
like that's a little interesting. Like I gotta say there needs to be some more pressure to this. Like they need to at least have somebody more in charge handling it. They need to do different things, in my opinion, to acquire these kind of promos, because it almost was like a free for all for some people, that they just had them on the table and they saw one person grab a handful, so they started grabbing a handful, and by four people there was just no more promos for the whole movie theater, and that's
Yeah.
not cool.
So some interesting stories for sure. Like I think these would be better off as like I think they should just give these to the local game stores as like promotional tools for the movie and tell people, hey, go watch the movie. But then again, I get it. They want people to go actually spend the movie on the movie ticket. But it just yeah, I wasn't able to get the promo either because it was only for that one weekend anyways. So it just didn't feel like it was easy to acquire. But putting it all together, $6 on TCG Player. Somehow, if you guys want to, to pick them up, you can buy 70 from one seller. You know, you guys can figure that one out. That's pretty cool. But let's go ahead and move on to some other playable cards because we're getting towards the end of this video. We have DLCs coming up. Set champs. Not too far away, you know, so I do want to talk about some meta-relevant cards real quick. Diablo, the Watchful Raven from Whispers in the Well, a foil that you can run in your Ruby Amethyst decks. These are up to around $5 right now. Lowest verified, $269 with around $250 shipping. That's around $5 after the taxes and everything. But gotta talk about this uncommon card from Shimmering Skies, Tipo. Almost $3, at least $225 before shipping fees. So per Tipo, that's pretty crazy. $2 in uncommon. Haven't seen this in a while, right?
Yeah, the T-Pose being $2 is kind of crazy to me. I kind of want to point out that the Palace Heist, the Illuminator's Quest from the Reign of Jafar set, actually comes with 2 copies if you were to buy the whole set. And there was Black Friday deals for that. I think it was like $20. You could have bought, I think, up to 3 from Amazon or Best Buy. And they also come with other goodies too. A lot of cards you can consider. But the T-Pose, I think, is something really important. With 2 T-Pose, 2 Docs, and Vincenzo, there's your $20 back. So almost every other card in there was free. And something else that's going on next weekend too that we really want to highlight is the Infinity Weekend. I know a lot of people have been excited about this because they want their whole New World non-foil promos. It's been like 6 months since Worlds, and it's been a whole fiasco.
It's been like a whole
then
year. It's been like a whole year since they announced the promos.
Yeah, it's been quite a journey since then. In my take, right? And whole new world being rotated out is not something you're really thinking about right now. But we kind of wanted to bring the attention just at the end of this video because of the Infinity Weekend, and cold foils right now are just sitting at about $5. All these cards are pretty darn cheap. I think Infinity format is not as popular as what they thought it would be. Be Prepared Cold Foils still being around $8 to $10 right now is pretty good. And everybody's favorite card that they don't want to talk about, Hiram Flavorsham, still sitting at around $10. I think Infinity format is gotta be worked on. I don't think they can just leave it alone. I don't think they can just let all the cards exist. It's going to become more saturated on like what you can and can't play. There's too many powerful cards, and it doesn't allow any interesting deck building decisions. And so I really think Infinity format needs to get some bans addressed to it, even before they decide to run DLCs with the main event behind them.
Oh, I know. I can't believe we're getting a DLC in Infinity format. It's actually kind of wild to me. I don't think this format is necessarily supported either on the local game store level. That's a huge issue for me. I think what they should have been doing is they should be hosting like 2 set champs every season, one Infinity format, one regular format. Like if they really want to push this like format, especially like to have a whole North American DLC for it, 1 out of the 3, it really should have been supported that way because people just forgot about this format and people only choose to make a deck for this when they don't do well in the main event. And that's literally what this format is. Like you don't do well in the main event, so you go to the Airbnb and you cook up an Infinity event for the next day. Like you're not really like making Infinity format's not a real thing, to be honest, unless you're like not playing the main event. That's what we're seeing. I don't know. I think they should really focus on multiplayer. I think they should really focus on revamping set champs. The old set champs model was way better. Now, I'm sure you guys have noticed that ever since they changed the set champs pricing from top 4 to top 8 with participation, it's just been, not only is the pricing EV really low, but no one really cares about set champs anymore. It's not really this exclusive thing, and just comparing it across the board with this Infinity Weekend event promo, bro, it does not feel very supported. And like I said, man, it should have been Infinity set champs, regular format set champs. You get top 4 pricing, exclusive pricing. Keep it exclusive. Like, there's no reason why, we should have changed the pricing on that one.
Yeah, like they could have done it where top 8 just gets non-foil promos and could keep it the same way with the second place mat without the champion stamp on it. It just almost felt like every time you won, you got something more, and it allowed less pressure on the game stores to put out more of this pricing.
The
And again,
pricing, yes,
the
that's the
game
thing.
stores are
Yeah.
deterred from promoting these events because of how much they have to put into it. There's
Yes.
other games that sell themselves a lot better, and it's hard to blame them when they're running a business in this current
Yeah,
economy.
bro, it's a business, right?
So
When you have a card, if I have 2 card games as a business owner, one of them is giving me all the pricing I need, all the pricing. I don't have to put in any of my own dollar for this tournament outside of entry fee and whatever I had to like pay back for like entry packs or something. Other than that, all the pricing's done for it. With Lorcana, with the way it's like situated, you can't get people to come into your set champs by just saying you're gonna win the set champs pricing. Like, you have to offer an extra box, an extra case, an extra this or that, and it's because of the way things are. Like, all these other games, they had no problem keeping it exclusive top 4 pricing. I don't know why we changed it.
it's okay. We can try to voice our opinion,
Yeah,
and
just
hopefully
venting.
it'll
It's been
move
a long
forward.
week. It's been a long week.
It's okay. It's okay. But guys, thank you so much for following us to the end of this video. I have a couple shout outs I'd like to make. First and foremost, thank you to everybody that has visited me this past Black Friday holiday weekend. I appreciated all the business. It was
Same,
great.
same.
I had
Same,
so many
same.
people that I got to meet too. They were in town, and I can't wait to see you guys at other events. And another shout out to Will. It's a longtime supporter and somebody I've met at the park a few times. A very helpful member of the community. And if you're, got any questions about anything related to the park, I think he is a current or former cast member, so he's got a lot of helpful advice. But he pointed out that YouTube was doing like this like reel thing where at you almost a recap, right? And not only him, a lot of you actually showed us in the Discord too that we are among your top 5. To see. I kind of had a little smile on my face. Thank you to everybody that is still here supporting us and supporting Lorcana and supporting your local game store. It's getting a little more challenging, not necessarily staying in the game, but just, being committed to, providing all of you guys this Lorcana insight, because there's some people that have shared some feedback and they're just not too happy with how things have been handled. I'm really hoping that when they said that season 3 was going to be knocked out of the park, the Disney parks per se, I'm putting, their money where their mouth is at this point. Like, it better not get out the park. I'm really holding them accountable to that one.
But before we let you go, our Lorcana Goons, we're going to use this time to pick a winner from last week's giveaway. Huge shout out once again to the Inkborn Collective on Instagram. Go give them a follow because they provided this gift box for the giveaway. We asked you guys to leave in the comments below what your personal chase is in Lorcana in our last Market Watch video. And we had 48 entries. Very, very cool. And we have Ji Hong, more of a player than a collector, but would love to have an Enchanted Robin Hood. Very cool. There's multiple Enchanted Robin Hoods, but we're gonna go ahead and shoot you a free gift box. Ji Hong, thank you so much for watching. We appreciate you for playing the game. Go play Lorcana at your local game store, guys. Go support the game. We're gonna send you a gift box. Hopefully you pull an Enchanted Robin Hood, right, Zach?
Yeah, I think was he talking about the sharpshooter, or is he talking about the
Right,
the one
which
from set
yeah,
3?
either Sherwood or Sharpshooter. I don't know, whichever one,
Yeah,
maybe.
yeah. Well, either or, hope you do get to that chase. And again, Lorcana Goons, thank you so much for following and subscribing and giving your honest feedback, because that's what we wanted to do on this video. It is the holidays. We are getting a little bit more in our feels right now. But until then, stay tuned, my Lorcana Goons. We'll see you goons next time. Dude, wait, that's the guy that plays at your tournament, right?
Wait, who? The winner?
This, yes.
Is it him? Let me see. Oh, this is
It's
Gil. This is Gil.
yeah.
Duh. Hey, huge shout out Gil. They come play at our tournaments at Ninja Exchange. Hey, Gil, Everett, Ephraim. We appreciate you guys. You won the giveaway. Love to see that. Love to see that. Hey, keep playing Lorcana at your local game store, guys. Huge shout out, Gil.